Thank you. So peace in our communities and in the world requires a connection to respect for our multiple differences and for the right of all people to justice, freedom, and dignity. This leads to trust, community, and coexistence. In my experience, there are 8 major paths winding their way toward the goal of peace. Each takes a different direction and moves through a different landscape, but they all end up at the same source. People who are on this path, they get attracted. They attract travelers who are aligned with certain personalities and evolutionary streams. In my experience, they follow one of these paths. They are either activist path, whose mission is to seek justice. Or they take a personal path, whose mission is to seek integrity. Or they take a relationship path, whose mission is to seek love. Some, they take a global path, whose mission is to seek community. Others, they take educational path, whose mission is to seek wisdom. Or they take a creative path, whose mission is to seek harmony. Or they take a leadership path, whose mission is to seek transformation. And finally, some people, they take a spiritual path, whose mission is to seek unity. Last year's Peace Award was presented to Dr. Joyce Bishop for her humanitarian efforts. I see her as someone whose mission is to seek love. You might think differently, but that's how I see you. She radiates that. And I would now like to ask her to come up and do the honor of presenting this award to someone who might have taken a different path, however ending up at the same source. So please, without further ado, Dr. Joyce Bishop.
As Fran was going through that list, I was thinking about how most of those apply to our recipient. And, you know, it's easy to do an isolated act of kindness, kind of a one-time event. But our recipient, Wes Bryan, has really been contributing in a real global and significant way since he was young. So he was leader of a youth group and was able to share his vision even at that young age. Then when raising his family, he and his wife took the children and lived overseas for several years. So being able to share with them the importance of developing a global perspective rather than an Orange County perspective of something. And then I've had the privilege of knowing Wes for over 20 years here on campus, and he has just showed tremendous leadership. And I like that what Fran just said, that leadership can lead to transformation. And that's what we've enjoyed in our time with Wes as our leader here. So he was a leader in his Department of Communication Studies in his division. And then also when he was Senate President. And the Senate is very active on campus, you know, making sure that they move the campus ahead in the sense of meeting students' needs. He was Vice President of Instruction, so the curriculum is so important to that position, and he was able to enact many important things with that. And then now as President of the college. When he was both Vice President and also President, he was able to really implement the Peace Studies program on this campus. And Fran is such an important part of that, and she needed administrative support, and she got tremendous support from Wes with that. So we are here today because of his support of the Peace Studies program. So Wes, please come up. It is my privilege to give Wes this award, and I love the words on it. It says, education breeds confidence, confidence breeds hope, and hope breeds peace. Wes.
Thank you very much. I am taken aback by this. I've written some things down because when you come in contact with a thing that touches things in your heart deeply, you don't want to wander. But in my welcome, I mentioned that these ideas were born out of dialogue with many people in this room. And this award belongs really to the people in this room. These kinds of efforts don't come from a single hand. They come from joined hands and joined hearts. It's a shared vision. They have done the heavy lifting, the difficult curricular work, the networking that involves bringing so many people from busy lives together, the planning, the phoning, the texting, the follow-up. I don't think any of us understood that this kind of curriculum change would not only change students, that it would change our lives as well. I certainly never envisioned that it would lead to a day like this or a conference like this. And I'm deeply humbled by this recognition. And in ways I'm conflicted because the pursuit of peace has a humbling effect on us all. Quite often I've acted in very unpeaceful ways. In fact, I find it so much easier than choosing the work of peaceful resolution. Parts of my academic career have depended on cynicism and sarcasm. It's easy to confuse cynicism and sarcasm with critical thinking. And after all, my training involved argumentation and debate. And yet, Peace Studies program, we found a group of individuals willing to engage themselves, our students, and the college in the peace, and then willing to share our learnings with each other. That together we began to view peace as an inclusive curriculum, an idea that belonged to everybody, and it wasn't owned by any single discipline. We found that there is no territory to stake out. Everyone can work for peace, every day in every way, with open hands and not closed fists. Together we begin to understand that peace is a set of learned behaviors, a set of acquired skills, a way of being in the world. Peace is a renewable resource, and we have to support each other every day if we're to have it. For peace to be sustainable, it requires a group effort, not an individual effort. It needs a learning community. And through sharing with each other, we all grow, and therefore the cause of peace is advanced. I'd like to share with you some of the things that I've been learning from this community of learners by participating in events like today. You've helped me understand that the future of the human race, as we know it, depends on practicing this one unifying principle, peace. When I act in peaceful ways, I contribute to our peacefulness. And when I do not, I become a detractor from the peacefulness that surrounds us. You've helped me learn that peace is not a weakness, it's a strength. That it can be a style of leadership, an outcome goal, and that it takes hard work, honest discussion, straightforward communication, tolerances for differences, respect for those differing viewpoints, and values. It is deliberative, collaborative, and time-consuming. It's a lifestyle that starts from the inside and works its way out. We have much to learn, and that's what this day has been about, because peace is practiced in many different and unique ways. Everyone in this room has ideas, notions, practices, and techniques to share with each other at how they arrive at peaceful solutions and resolutions. That is what this day is about. And I'm going to take a moment to share on a very personal level the lesson I'm practicing on a daily basis. I focus my daily meditation on 3 simple requests. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And that takes a while to surrender to those things that irritate me, irritate you, seem so overwhelming. To let those kinds of things go so that I can ask then for the courage to change the things I can. And to focus in then on those things that are in the sphere of my control, and to accept responsibility for those things and to act on those things. Because it's a lot easier to worry about the things that are outside of my control and not to do the diligent work of the things that you can change. And then thirdly, the wisdom to know the difference. When those 3 elements sync, and they don't always, but when they do, peacefulness and correct action occur. You have helped me learn that peace starts from the inside and in a quiet place. You've helped me understand that from a place of peacefulness, we come better equipped to address environmental challenges of air, water, energy, and land, as well as the inequities of poverty, political power struggles, the quality of life, and relational issues. We're learning here today, together, that these global challenges require peaceful solutions from peaceful people committed to a life of service. I thank you for inviting me to your dialogue, for what you are and have been teaching me, and for your ongoing commitment to peace. I want this moment and this award to remind me to choose peace daily. Together, we can expand the circle of peace. Thank you for the hands of support you've given me, and may mine always be open to you. Thank you very much. This is for all of you.